Right now, the Biden campaign is holding a lunch briefing with Senate Democrats about their path forward. And in just moments, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries will hold his first news conference since the debate, as the number of congressional Democrats calling on Biden to quit the race keeps growing. Joining me now is House Democratic member Gerry Connolly of Virginia. Mr. Connolly, thank you for coming in. It's nice to see you here in person, not chasing you in the hallways.
Right.
So I want to read to you about some news from one of your colleagues today, Hillary Schalton from Michigan, who became the 10th House Democrat to call on Joe Biden to leave the race. She says, "For the good of our democracy, I believe it is time for him to step aside from the presidential race and allow a new leader to step up." She says, "Joe Biden has been that leader for so long, but this is not about the past. It is about the future. It is time to pass the torch." Do you agree?
What I agree with is that this is about the future, not about the past. And we need to be prepared to make hard, cold decisions about that future. What is the best for all of us? The country first, our political prospects, our own individual political situations. And we need the White House to take that frame of mind. We need our colleagues in Congress. We need other stakeholders, including delegates to the Democratic Convention. And we need to make that assessment, and quickly.
How quickly? I mean, we're running out of time here.
Quickly.
But the president has said that he is running for re-election. Do you not believe him?
I believe him. But that's one, I mean, the president has to be respected. A lot of deference has to be given to him. He's a friend of mine. I worked for him. I have great respect for Joe Biden, and I'm not going to engage in quick decisions that throw him under the bus. But I also believe we have to make some hard choices here, and the president has to be part of that process.
But it sounds like you think that he could change his mind.
Well, there are other voices that get to be heard, not just the White House.
Mm-hmm. And that could have influence, you think?
It better have influence. I mean, this can't just be the decision of a family or one individual, however much we respect them and want to give respect and deference, as we should. God knows President Biden has earned dignity and respect, and I would never want to violate that standard. But we also need to protect the country from an authoritarian figure like Donald Trump, who will upend constitutional democracy, and that's got to be the real basic ethos that drives everything here.
But how concerned are you that Biden could lose to Trump?
I'm very concerned that Biden could lose to Trump. I'm very concerned anyone could lose to Trump.
But him in particular?
Well, polling data is not encouraging right now, and I hope the White House takes that into account as well.
So speaking of polling data, the New York Times is reporting just now that the Biden campaign is conducting private polling, testing Kamala Harris and seeing how she does in a matchup against Donald Trump. Good decision would that be a wise course in your view for Biden to step aside, Kamala Harris to run in his place?
I'm not going to make a judgment as to whether that's wise or not. It's clearly an option that needs to be on the table.
Mm-hmm. But from reading between the lines, it sounds like you don't want to go out and publicly call him to resign, to step aside, because of your friendship and what you believe he has done for the country and all of that. But you're concerned he's going to lose. And the party would be better off, in your view, the country would be better off with a new candidate. Is that a fair assessment?
I didn't say that. I think it's fair to say I'm concerned, and I have reason to be concerned. And I would hope the White House and the presidential campaign are also concerned. They're looking at the same numbers we're looking at. You see the drip, drip, drip of people calling for the president to step out. You're seeing polling data that is very discouraging. You're seeing donor drop off and people withholding because they have concerns about this. I have a personal concern for Joe Biden himself as the person. This is somebody who's spent all of his life in public service and made an extraordinary contribution. I don't want to see him going out, having his dignity compromised. And I would think that people who care about Joe, as I do, and I know his family does, would take that into consideration. I mean, there's an opportunity here to have a process that preserves dignity and respect for a president who, as I said, has clearly earned it, and allows us to face the future with some options at hand that allow us to have some confidence about making sure Donald Trump is not anywhere near the Oval Office again.
Have you made that case to him at all?
I've met with the president briefly yesterday at the NATO summit. I've had no contact from this White House and no contact from the campaign.
Okay. And you expect the Democratic leader, do you think Hakeem Jeffries is going to express and relay those concerns directly to the White House? Do you expect him to do that?
I do. Hakeem Jeffries understands that his role here is not as cheerleader. It is to be a bridge, a communication bridge between our caucus, the White House, and the campaign. And I have every confidence Hakeem Jeffries knows how to do that superbly well.
And last question before I let you go. Next week, will Joe Biden still be your candidate next week?
I don't know. Events are unfolding very fast. And I want to create space for the president and the White House to make a careful, reflective, and patriotic decision.
All right, Mr. Connolly, Jerry Connolly from Virginia, thank you so much for coming in. Really
My pleasure.
Appreciate chatting with you here on set.